Hey guys, welcome to Crimson Guitars. My name is Matt. I'm a luthier and teacher here at Crimson Guitars, and today we're going to be looking at this LTD TE-1000, but more importantly, the Evertune system and how to set it up properly. It's come from the factory, perfectly in tune. Well, in tune, but you can bend the string and nothing happens, so we're going to sort that out. By the way, this guitar is available to win over on greatguitargiveaway.com, and the money raised will help go towards the Dorset Guitar Museum because we deserve a museum. So, why do you need an Evertune bridge? So these are great for recording artists and touring musicians. Imagine you've played a festival in, I don't know, Switzerland, and then the next day you've got a show in somewhere hotter like Spain. You don't want to be messing about tuning your guitar, especially if you've got, 10 minutes from getting off the plane to getting on stage, and you want to be able to just put your guitar on and then it be perfectly in tune. So the first time I installed an Evertune, I thought it was going to be loads of messing about with springs in the back like you do with a Floyd Rose, where you have to balance the tension of the tuning versus the tension of the springs in the back. But it's actually super simple. You're basically putting strings on the guitar, and then you tune with the machine heads until it doesn't change pitch anymore, and then you adjust the tuning down here. So on the Evertune, you get this little key, which is essentially an Allen key. So there's three adjustable points. This one here, which is how you actually tune the guitar now. These ones are for the action, raising and lowering the action of the guitar, and the ones at the back here are for the intonation. So what's actually happening, for every single string, there has its own individual spring. Essentially, the tension of the string is balanced with the tension of the spring. So therefore, once you've set it to that tuning, which you can adjust on the front, it won't come out of that tuning again. So on the Evertune, there's zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. So zone 1 is when it's not in the correct tuning, and you can change the tunings. Zone 2 is where it is set. It's set in its tuning. It will stay in that tuning forever, basically. And then zone 3 is the point at which the spring has reached its highest tolerance, and where we need to set it up in order to do string bends is on the cusp between zone 2 and zone 3. That way you can bend it and it go back to perfect pitch, and that's what we're going to try and do today. In order to get this to bend, we're going to need to tune it. So the strings are currently in zone 2 and will not change the pitch. So we're going to take it to the cusp of zone 2 and zone 3. So what we're going to do is just play the note and tighten the string until you hear it change pitch. There. And then we're going to bring it back to perfect pitch. And now we should be able to bend the string. And it goes back to perfect pitch. So now we're just going to do that on the other 5 strings. Super simple, but very clever. So we're just going to run through the specs of this guitar really quick. So it's got flame maple top, and a 3-piece maple neck, set neck. It says set through on the specs, but looks like a set neck to me. Set through to me would imply that it goes through a bit more. It's got a mahogany body. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-piece mahogany body. It's got the new EMG 5766 TW set. So The TW basically means that you can split them. Normally with EMGs you couldn't split them, but it's got push-pull, split, volume and tone. Three-way selector. Obviously the Evertune bridge. Yeah, and locking tuners. And a gloss finish, which, as we mentioned in the video where we unboxed this guitar, it looks a little thick. It's quite a thick gloss finish. And for me personally, I don't really like glossy necks on what's essentially a shreddy metal guitar. You don't want to be sticking to the neck as you're trying to play up the dusty end. But yeah, I think it's quite a lot of bang for your buck in terms of what you get on this guitar. Yeah, there's a few little bits that I'm not super impressed with, but at this price point, you can't really grumble. Okay, so I've gone through and I've tuned the guitar to the cusp between zone 2 and zone 3, so now every string should bend. You can bend on every single one. Okay, so I've given this guitar a little bit of a setup. It didn't really need too much. It was pretty well set up out of the factory. Remember, this guitar is available to win over at greatguitargiveaway.com. And I think it's great bang for your buck in terms of what you get for on this guitar. I mean, a guitar that doesn't go out of tune once you've set it up. What more could you want?